Hey everybody, and welcome back to Northernlion Plays Planet Coaster, or welcome for the first time, because this is going to be the start of a new Planet Coaster iteration. The last one was getting to the point where it was completely bungled. I mean, people were getting trapped on staircases, living entire lifetimes inside of my park, stepping on trash at the outset, and being like, I don't like being here anymore. So, I'm excited. In the same vein as RimWorld, I'm excited that I have a blank canvas to work with. I've learned a lot of lessons: widen your paths, pay your employees less, etc., etc. And we're on the Alpine map this time. Whoa, look at that gorgeous Swiss lake in the background here. And also the sweet entrance that people take from inside of, Dante's Inferno here. People just get spawned at those ticket gates, I suppose. So we're going to get started. This is on medium difficulty on the Alpine map. And we're going to try to design a park that is just nicer. And I mean that. A park that is nicer. A park that is... people are not ashamed to spend time in. A park with wider paths. And if it all costs $1 per meter, we're going to build these wide paths right from the get-go here. So, admittedly, the first day of Planet Coaster is going to be a little samey. What's the first ride you put down? Give yourself, 10 points to slither in if you said, and a wooba-boobily and a whirly rig will get you started. Dude, I love the way, I never looked at this before, I love the way the texture animates based on where you're moving it. It's actually like there's a JPEG of cobblestone under this, and we're just illuminating it as we go here. But we're going to start with wide paths. I'm not saying we're going to make the greatest park in human history, because I think that is ridiculous, of course. But we're going to have a different philosophy. Instead of, like, weird-ass spider legs, we're going to build around, like, a central sort of area, I think, that encourages people to stay in the park for a while. But we're going to start, and we're going to theme the areas. We're going to have some scenery, and I mean that sincerely. Maybe we'll bring back Grecian Tower, but we don't have to bring it back immediately. We're going to start, and we're going to make, like, a little family-friendly section of the park just to get us making some money before we worry too much about anything else. So, we can't really afford to build roller coasters right off the bat is what I'm trying to get at. So we're just going to start. And I want to avoid spending too much money on this right off the bat. We're going to make like a nice little children's ride atrium sort of thing right here. We're spending $500 on paths, but the reason we're spending, well, more than that probably by the time we get through with this, but the reason we're spending so much is because in the future, I want these paths to be wide. And we have turned off angle snapping so we can actually have the ability to create paths that seem to make sense. Like, apart from the really sharp corner there, Dead Man's Curve, this actually looks nice. And what is it? When you first enter the park, you're gonna be like, sweet, this is beautiful. Look at this space, isn't it wide open and inviting? I think so. We're gonna throw down a quick coaster. Remember, we got to do all our research again. By coaster, I mean ride here. So we're gonna obviously throw down like an early whirly rig. Wow. And thanks for the subscription. I appreciate it. And we could have this also be like a nice, like, decked out area in terms of like scenery and trees and stuff like that. But my idea is like you can either enter and go left, or you can enter and go right. And maybe going right takes you to kids area, and going left takes you to more intense rides, if you will. So let's start, and we'll just put the whirly rig right over here. And I really want this park to look better, because I think that's going to be important for us as well. And we're going to make the, we're going to do basically the same thing we were doing with queues. If there's something that I, like, didn't mess up that much in my previous park, I think it's that queues actually looked relatively sane. The one exception is that I might start to get, like, a serpentine pattern going here to a greater extent. Just because, the denser a queue is, the easier it is to get a high queue rating. Of course, I would prefer that they don't spend all of their time in line, but I know from experience that the whirly rig is a popular ride. And let's get this started here. By the way, if you're disappointed that Northernlion's Funhouse is now no more, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, you gotta learn when to let go, and we definitely, we probably should have let go even earlier, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna have an eye for... As much as I hate to say it, I'm going to have an eye for aesthetics in this park. And it's the kind of thing that will probably lead to me being laughed at in a few episodes where they go, lol, I for aesthetics. Yeah, okay, if you say so. But I truly believe that, at least at the present moment. So, in front of the whirly rig, let's throw some scenery here. I'm excited right now, and I'm not going to throw down a Grecian tower. Again, it's a pirate-themed park, so how are we going to do a pirate-themed park? Well, throw a barrel slide in or something like that over here. I don't want to, oh my, okay, look. I appreciate it. I am streaming, or I'm recording right now on YouTube. I appreciate the support, but cool it a little bit. Maybe we could have a barrel slide go over. I completely forgot about the challenges. Can have the barrel slide go over the queue like an arch. That looks kind of cool. We're only at 8% queue rating, but we didn't spend that much money on it either. You know, throw a little treasure over here. 12%? I guess it's not getting the benefit of anything else having been, like, on the ride so far, so I can understand that. Trees, a tip that I got from people, they were like, trees are extremely cheap and also good for scenery. So, you know, we can always throw down some blue fir trees here just to kind of box you in the queue and make you feel like you're, you know, you're kind of like isolated in the park a little bit. Like you're in the whirly rig area. So mad respect for that. That takes us up to a 19, which honestly could be worse. And you know what? My creative juices are starting to flow here. Let's get some bandits shooting through the trees. I want to kind of avoid more elements like these in the future. Because they lead to a pretty bad frame rate. But that's another thing to be excited about right now. Getting back to like maybe almost 60 FPS. 34%. Let's take it to the next level, dude. I want to have like a sense of care that goes into, you know, almost every ride in this park. Every ride is ridiculous, but almost every ride. I'm not putting down a golden treasure chest. It's $10,000. Where is Anchor? Oh, there we go. Pirate cover shot. Just have these guys sitting inside of the trees like this. And pirate angry shot. Well, I mean, I would assume that all pirate shots are angry, but let's make sure this is actually in the ground. There we go. 50? 49%. You know what that means? You get a few more trees thrown in here. We got blue firs. That's the way we've been running it to start with here. This is the blue fir section of the park. Immediately, the nicest queue I've ever built. It's got a 52% queue rating. I'm gonna be honest with you. This thing's costing $5 because I put my heart and soul into it. What else do we need before we open the park to, you know, widespread visitors? We probably should have slowed it down on the path front because we have so many bins to place and benches to place, but that's all right. There you go. Whirly rig, you're open for business. We have like one trash can set up there, and we can actually run on speed 3 without causing ourselves ridiculous problems right now, which is kind of nice. So what are our challenges right now? One of them I know was build a coaster. The other one is achieve a monthly profit from rides of $500. It's conceivable that the whirly rig could do this. I think we should throw down another ride probably. I gotta be honest with you, dude. That's a pretty sweet, oh, these guys are just, they're not riding on the whirly rig, yo. What are your thoughts upon leaving? There's not enough to do here? I hope the traffic home is okay. I wish there were more rides. I don't want to leave yet. Okay, that's fine. You know what we do? We throw down another ride. You might be wondering why I'm not building closer to the entrance. I'm going to keep this as kind of like a nature area. So when people come in, they go, whoa, great scenery. That's my plan anyway. So I'm going to build another ride just right next to the whirly rig here, if we can even afford another ride. We can always take out loans. And, I mean, it's not a great ride, but we can afford the teacups. We can probably, yeah, if we're going to take out loans, we could afford Venetian Carousel as well. And remember, this is going to be the kid area of the park. This is not going to be, you know, the world's nicest or most intense section. This is pirate themed. The whirly rig is going to be a little bit more fantasy themed. And I think that that's sensible. It can exit the same way that the other ride exits. They can share an exit. In terms of the entrance, we'll put the ride here. Place the entrance over here so that it's close to the exit from the other ride. And we'll place the exit like that. And then connect the entrance to the path. Again, serpentine queue. Not quite as serpentine as the last one. Come on. Well, this one's gonna be like slightly sillier, but that's okay. Can we bend this? Not as much as I would like, unfortunately. You know what? I don't like this. Let's slow this down. We can always place the entrance in a different area. We're paused. There's no need to rush. I think that's a classic Northernlion problem, is that, you know, you rush the park a little bit, you create issues. We only have $56 in the bank, too, so let's be a little smarter and go, you know, finances, loans, and we're going to take out a $4,000 loan, or whatever, $3,000 loan, whatever we can afford. Connect the entrance to the path. We're going to move the entrance. Place the entrance. We're going to put it over here, and the reason we're going to do that is so that we actually can build the way that I wanted to build originally. Well, not originally, because it's not going to be serpentine. We're just going to have it stretch back across the ride, which hopefully is good for the queue rating to begin with. You know, you get to see all those people having fun, and you go, sweet, I'm going to have fun soon as well. And then you come back this way. And I want the entrance to this ride to be close to the exit to the other ride, because that just seems like a sensible idea for me. The queue rating's got 3% right now. To be honest with you, we're a little light on cash, but we want fantasy-themed stuff, so let's come down here and pick up some cheap fantasy-related merchandise. The dragons are pretty expensive, but I want it to look nice. So, you know what? We also want trees. What kind of trees are... Ivy. Yeah, that's right. Ivy is a beloved fantasy trope for sure. So we'll get this coated in ivy over here. Relatively cheap scenery. I don't really want it on the queue, but... Okay, we'll put it on the queue. How's your scenery rating now? 8%. Cheapest 8% I've ever gotten in my entire life. Should have a knight standing guard. And a knight challenging. And then a particularly fantasy-esque tree boxing us in as well. So what's a fantasy-esque tree here? Oak trees? Oh, damn, dude. These are too big. Oak tree small, please. What in the world? This is like Michael A. L. Fox's wet dream right here. I don't want to block my view of the rides, selfishly, because I'd like to provide a better viewing experience. There we go. Ponderosa pines. Poplar trees. This will block my view of the ride, but... There's nothing, you know, it's like Alice in Wonderland. You're taking a trip through the tall pines here. Watch this immediately be more profitable than my other park. And we're actually just gonna deck this out, like, completely. Again, I want this to have a sense of, like, gravitas. When you go on the Venetian coaster, you're not spinning around and getting a ride that gives you a view of the entire park. You are actually inside of the forest. There is a witch cackling in your ear going, ah! Legend has it, this park is built on the burial ground of an earlier park. People got trapped on staircases and lived there forever. 48% scenery rating, I can live with that. You're good to go. Alright, 2 rides. Still does not make people super excited. They really start to pop off around the 3-ride level, I think. But at 2 rides, they might actually start to... they might start to pay for the rides and go on them, which is nice. It's going to be difficult for us to see if people are actually on the queue for the carousel unless we come in from the very top of it, but I'm somewhat happy with the theming there. Let me guess, a lot of Venetian carousel looks too gentle for me. Nobody has any thoughts whatsoever on the whirly rig so far. Maybe lower the cost to the default for now, just in case. Just in case that's causing us part of the problem here. People are also walking up to Venetian Carousel and they're not stoked. So I think we need one more ride posted up. And I would like to have it on the interior here still. And we'll start to throw down facilities and benches. And I really want to put Nick's Garden down to start with as well, just to make things nice here. So we'll put down a 3rd ride. And we should put down a ride that's a little bit more exciting. But you know what? We shouldn't. let's throw down a ride that continues with, like, the family theme of the park that we've got going on here. I think that is sensible, in my opinion. And let's be even smarter than I usually am. We're going to throw down the Madrina's Wild Ride, the teacups. We'll rename all these rides as well. What's our next challenge? Build a coaster with at least 3 excitement. Hey, that's almost insulting. Like, I may be an idiot, but I can make a coaster with 3 excitement. We'll place our exit just over here. And connect the entrance to the path. We're using orange cues for this one just because we can. And I'm going to have this cue stretch out along these trees. Again, because it gives us a chance to take advantage of the scenery rating without spending more money. So we've already got this one outlined with trees as well. And then the scenery rating for this one is already 28. And of course this has to be fantasy themed as well. Because it's a, it's the teacups. Teacups are totally Alice in Wonderland, dude. But I don't want to spend on blueprints yet. It's too early to be spending on blueprints. So what do we need for this? There are water fountains, but they're kind of expensive. Plain fountain water spouts. Plain fountain base circular. $20. Well, we want spouts at the bottom, probably. My God, he's doing it. I never would have thought this was possible. Then, of course, you have the plinth that comes on top of that. And then on top of the plinth, we're going to place something very fantasy themed. Like a spout of fucking fire. No, that's not right. Slow your roll. A trooper shooting? A Tuscan cypress? A well? No. Ooh, that well. Ooh, what about a witch casting spells? She's casting spells that make you get dizzy. And then, because you're going on the teacups. Look, you can sort of see the rigging in the background here. You can really see the rigging in the background, but let's just get it lined up and then pull it down. I don't think that was as lined up as I wanted it to be. You know what? Let's get on top of it. This looks horrible. I need to like spray paint the robot mechanism. The robotic mechanism. There you go. Okay. Does it look horrible? It doesn't look great, but it'll look good from the front, and that's the most important part. We built our own custom fountain. Now we got 44% over here. You know what? I appreciate that. What are some other things that are witch-esque? Definitely like those spooky trees. So there's like, what was the one that was like a haunted tree or something like that? Like oh, wait, there, I saw him. This is a scary ride, so you get on the spooky tree. They literally are called spooky tree. How are these $5? You know, spooky trees get thousands of upvotes, but how many for our boys in blue? What about, and then, of course, you need some spooky tree ones thrown in here as well. Beautiful. Scenery rating, 53. Open it up. Print it. So, obviously, this is Madrina's Wild Ride. Again. Venetian Carousel. We're going to call this the Forest of Illusion. Oh, it looks too gentle for me. Yeah, okay. And then the Whirly Rig is Boobali. Not because I'm a gross man, but because that's the song that they sing as it goes. But why are they choosing not to go on the Whirly Rig? Everybody is walking past the Whirly Rig, which has previously been like one of the most, you know, hardened, hidden rides in history. What do people think of this ride? Why are they all walking? Oh, it's because it's closed, you dummy! You're leaving money on the table. Okay, how much did Nick's Hanging Gardens cost to make? $1,600. It's probably a lower priority than getting a then getting some coasters up and running. Dude, it feels so nice to be playing this game in 60 FPS again. I cannot tell a lie. Oh, there's the Whirly Rig song that we know and love. I think I'm just going to start by placing trash cans as well. Like, we're at 20 minutes here. It's still pretty early, but our park's gotten nice to begin with. Put some trash cans at the exit as well. I'm going to try to, like, future-proof the park a little bit. Garbage cans are a part of that. Another part of that is hiring and upgrading mechanics, vendors, and janitors early. You don't need, if you're min-maxing, you don't need mechanics, you know, before you even have 3 rides. But we know we're going to need them at some point. And I'm not afraid to overspend on mechanics as long as the rest of our park is, like, functioning properly. Obviously, we need to throw down some facilities as well. Like, it wouldn't be the worst thing to have a functional bathroom. But it feels nice to have what appears to be, you know, I was going to say a more well-designed park, but it's not even that. It's just that this park actually has a design. So if you'll forgive me. You know what this song sounds like? Take me to your best friend's house. Take me to their best friend. I don't remember the rest of the song, but it is in Rock Band 4. And then eventually they go, don't leave me tongue-tied. I think it's about cunnilingus, but what do I know about indie rock? Only what Pitchfork printed between the years 2004 and 2010. Okay. So this is the most riveting part of this entire extravaganza right here. But you have to throw down garbage cans. And these garbage cans are just here for the future. And you might say, well, nobody's going to go to this section of the park right now anyway. You're probably right. But I need to throw these down regardless because you never know who's going to walk over here and be like, oh, I don't want my Chief Beef container anymore. I held it just until I got to the section of the park that is unworked. And now I'm done with it. So the Whirly Rig is beloved. Venetian Carousel. The Forest of Illusion is liked. We got to get the bird's eye view cam, but it's not nearly as popular as the other rides that we got going on here. But this is okay. We got a nice little family-friendly park that's sort of bumping so far. We should probably throw down some benches as well. I'll be the first to tell you that. But for now, I'm pretty pleased with how this is going. I think we should prioritize like a coaster pretty soon. If we could get a coaster, that would be nice. And the coaster we can start to put on the left side here. And it just gives people the opportunity to... Oh, challenge complete. Nice. It gives people the opportunity to spend a little bit more time and hopefully a lot more money in the park as well. So I'm going to prioritize coaster. And after coaster, I'm going to try to get Nick's Verdant Gardens down. But we do have to do... research again. And that's going to be a little annoying. It's going to take some time, but life goes on. Boobalee is really good value. Madrina's Wild Ride is really good value. Park entry is free. I wish there were more rides. That's fair. As soon as we build one roller coaster, that'll change. People will lose their freaking minds. Are people hungry? Let's look at guess. Because I don't want to build businesses until people decide they're hungry. Some people have decided that they would like to have a bathroom. And, I think the right place for a bathroom right now is just across from this double exit. So if we can get a fantasy or a bathroom-themed bathroom, that would be nice. And there's the pirate toilets for $865 or the Fairy Tale Village toilets for less than that. So that's what I'm going to do. And you know what? Let's place them over here just because it's more in keeping with this area. And we don't need a door through the exit as well, which is important for me. We'll just put it close to a trash can. Now, that's an overspend, but it's an overspend versus a regular bathroom because I would like to keep the theming of our park looking nice. And, you know, if you disagree with that, keep in mind that my park was hideous last time because of that philosophy. The philosophy of just ignoring, the theming altogether. So we're also going to throw down a Chief Beef. People flock to it like moths to the fucking flame. Guests think Madrina's Wild Ride is a great value. That's lovely. And we're also going to throw down a Fairy Tale Drink Shack. And hopefully this is oh, this is 2 stores, so we're actually not going to do that. We might just build a custom one then. And I just want to make sure, you know, this is kind of like a food courty type area here. And we're in the fantasy sort of themed section of the park, so obviously we're going to have some palace bins around here. Because when you eat a chief beef, you really are royalty. We have fun here. Benches. Dude, the months are going by so fast as compared to what they normally do. Go take a seat on some of these benches. Eat your chief beef. And, you know, listen to the Aboobalee theme song. Obviously, you can sit by the trees as well. Sit in the shade. And just have a good time over here. I don't really want to have you sit next to the trash cans, but, you know, there's no place that you can sit that is not inundated with trash cans. So, alright, I'm really happy with this so far. I think this has been a good start to these episodes. Just give it a second for things to percolate out. People do want drinks still, and energy is a concern, but apart from that, people seem really happy. So, I'll tell you what, let's throw down a drink store. So, we'll maybe move this bench over here for now. And maybe move that trash can. But we'll make like a castle passage, and then we'll just put a drink store inside of it. Or I guess we can make oh, the large clock tower is so expensive though. We can make a fancy fairy tale thatch and then put a drink store inside of that. And it's not going to be cost prohibitive, at least not right now. I can't believe it, the absolute madman. He's theming. He's beginning to theme. Just get it hooked up like this. It doesn't completely ruin the facade of the chief beef there. Okay, and then shops and facilities, drinks, custom, and we want Cosmic Cow milkshakes because people go absolutely crazy for them. And then we want to sink that deep within the building if possible. I don't want them to walk up a staircase. There you go. That's the ticket. That's the ticket. But I don't want them to walk up a staircase. No, sink inside of the building. Yeah, okay, there we go. On the roof, Cosmic Cow milkshakes. You said you were thirsty. Prove it. That's ridiculous. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. Can we move the building here just a little further out on top of it? Oh, yeah, we can. And there you go. Now we've got a themed Cosmic Cow milkshake that people are going to lose their minds over. And we got a theme park going, baby. We got bathrooms. Yes, we do. We got bathrooms. How about you? We got themes. What we do need, before I forget, where are you guys going? Oh, they're exiting. Okay, that's fine. I just don't want them to go to no man's land yet. Okay, so this part of the park is doing fine right now, and I'm happy with it. We are going to... Many guests are thirsty, but that's what the Cosmic Cow's for, buddy. It looks busy. I'll try someplace else. That'll change. That'll change. That'll percolate out. What's next? I'm going to, I think, be smart. And I'm going to hire a janitor. And I'm going to hire a mechanic. And we probably don't need them yet, because it's pretty early on. But we will need them eventually, so I think this is smart to get it done. Right now, I think my mistake is like, oh, people are thirsty. Cosmic Cow milkshakes. And then I try to throw down like 6 of them because people continue to be thirsty. But the reality of the situation is, when you got 1,000 thirsty people in one store, that store will fill the demand eventually. We just got to give them some time. Because everybody wants a drink, you know? I wish there were more rides. Cosmic Cow milkshake looks busy. I'll try somewhere else. Yo, the staff, you'll get paid more. Also, our vendors, don't forget. Vendors get trained now. Take 175. We don't want to spend too much. Because that was a problem in the past. There's probably just a value I can look up that will be perfect for these, but to keep our staff happy, that is something we're going to want to take care of, is making sure that they get trained, making sure that they get the salary that they deserve. And we should hire an entertainer as well. I very rarely hired entertainers in the past. I think I had 0. So let's throw down a king coaster here, and We might not want to train him right off the bat. You know, we're going to run into some extra overhead-related problems. But look, there. The milkshake place, I think, it's served enough people now. So we're starting to work it through. All right, next step. We do want to get our first coaster down. Do we have a cheap coaster in our blueprints? Or are we going to be relying on, you know, using the pre-made one? Like using the pre-made Spaghetti Island, basically. So we've started to spend more than we're making. Unfortunately. So what we're going to do is actually crank up the prices a little bit on our rides. And that's fine. We found out early at least, which is, you know, I think important for us here. And Forest of Illusion for $350. It's already not beloved at $350, but we're just going to charge $4. Just slightly change it. And hopefully our businesses start making mad money in the future here too. Because we're spending a lot of money on staff. We're going to really try to expand slowly when it comes to facilities and restaurants and drink shops and gift shops. I don't even, by the end of like my park's existence, we didn't have any gift shops, I think, so. Or we had very few. I think the time is right for us to throw down a roller coaster. And I think we should throw it down close to the entrance to bring people in. I guess the problem is, like, if I throw it down here, they might walk in, check this roller coaster, and then walk back out. But if I throw it down here, I'm kind of starting to fall into the same trap I fell into in the last episode, or the last series, which was put your roller coasters at the end to try to drive people down the entire path, which rarely seems to work out the way I wanted. So I think I'm going to take out another loan. Again, it's a business, you know? Sometimes you got to take on debt to make money. And in particular, when 50% of guests are complaining that there's not enough to do, well, only 18% here are complaining that there's not enough to do, I think it's smart for us to take on debt if necessary. I think we should throw down Spaghetti Island. Spaghetti Island has always been good to us. Try to lower it a little closer to the ground so that the fear rating is lower and the excitement rating is higher. If we could just get Spaghetti Island going. We're going to bring back some of our old blueprints, by the way, to see if maybe they're more beloved now that we're in different circumstances. Actually, you know what? We might be able to build Rob's baby roller coaster. Well, it's not Wussy Baby Castle Coaster, is it? Yeah, okay. This is exactly correct. We're going to build Rob's Redemption pretty close to the start. Because Rob's Redemption is a roller coaster that never got its fair shake. And honestly, it deserves it. Because I fucked it up. That's the reason that Rob's Redemption never took off. So how much does that roller coaster cost? $4,300. It's not that bad, let's be honest. We'll go finances, add new loan, $2,000 loan. And to be real with you, if this doesn't work out, we're going to have a problem. But we're actually not going to put it over here either. We're going to put it down here because this is the fantasy-themed area of the park. It's the children's-themed area of the park. And Rob's roller coaster is kid-friendly, I think. Can we lower it, by the way? No, because it'll sink into the ground. That's fair. I do hate building high up if I can avoid it, but this is good. But, you know, we got to get used to theming again, so we're going to do that. And Rob, this is your complete chance for redemption. I know previously we've had Rob's Redemption, but this is like the real Rob's Redemption right here. Now, I don't think it's a sin to have the coaster run over the path. You know, this is something that we've done wrong in the past for sure. But I think that this is actually, it has the potential to be kind of a cool staging element. If we can get the coaster to run over the path, people will be excited to be on it. And we can have people walk under it to like get to the, you know, the garden in the center. And they can hang out and eat lunch while the coaster goes over top of them. So I think this is fine and kind of cool. But I think we should rotate it if possible. But then, see, the thing is I want my path to face this way, but it doesn't work as well like that. Could we do it like this? I mean, we could easily set it up like that, and that actually kind of like looks nice as well. I think I could be persuaded to think this is good. We can still put Nick's Garden at the front of the park. People will still come onto this roller coaster because it's fairly close to the park entrance. And it looks easy enough for me to build a queue that works with this. Let me set it up like that so that we can build the queue kind of closer to the way that we've had our previous queues. Yeah, I think this will be fine. We're just going to build it slightly over. I think that's okay. You may disagree, and it is your right to believe that, but I think this is actually fine. I do kind of want to edit the track a little bit, and we're going to say, like, Rob's Coaster, it doesn't start with an enter right, exit right. It starts with an enter left, exit right. And then that's fine, and we'll have to test it. So let's ride this bad boy, you know? It's been a while since we've ridden a roller coaster, mostly because the frame rate got terrible. And I'll admit, Rob's Coaster is not the most exciting coaster on planet Earth. However, it's got good theming. I like the dragon coasters. You do almost get decapitated during that section, which is sweet. I like the very period-themed dubstep as well. Alright, sweet. I think that's totally fine. So, we're done editing the track. This is Rob's real redemption. And I think this could become, like, the most popular ride in this entire park. I actually have my queues on the wrong side, but I don't really mind that much. So we'll put the entrance there, put the exit here. Connect the entrance to the path. Remember, we're using orange queues now. And we do need to descend pretty quickly. We're going to try to do so in a way that is the least hideous that it could conceivably be. Whether or not we succeed at that is going to be, that's going to be up to the peanut gallery. No, I'd like to keep it... I don't know if I want to keep it in the air longer than this. I'd actually like for it to reach the ground faster, if possible. But when the queues... Like, it's harder to make a serpentine queue when you have to go vertically, because it creates problems. Because you need to have a flat section between each descending section. But we can definitely, like, have a serpentine queue once we get on the ground here. Because I think people are going to, you know, clamor to be on this roller coaster, especially when it's the only thing like it in this park. What we do want to avoid is having a queue so long that people don't spend money on anything else in the park. You know, they just go into this queue, pay 10 bucks, and then leave. But I don't think this is absurd. Like, I don't think that's a ridiculous queue to ride a roller coaster here. And then, it's already got 14% queue rating, which is nice. And then for paths, we're using cobblestone, so we'll get that set up. And the exit is, I would say, slightly less worrisome than the entrance in terms of, you know, how you theme it. We might put some bathrooms or something along the path, but I think that that's relatively good. I'm gonna open Rob's Real Redemption while I work on the queue here. And again, this is a fantasy-themed area, so what have we been using for fantasy? Let's stay specific here. We've been using poplar trees. Let's use poplar tree 2, though. And, you know, we'll just have these set up here. And at least it's not just, like, flat ground like my previous section was. And if nothing else... Oh, man, my alarm did not go off at all here. We've been playing for, like, 37 minutes. But you know what? Consider that a mea culpa for me having to restart the series because I fucked it up so bad in the first place. I want to at least see Rob's Redemption either get off the ground or screw us forever. Because I really think that this ride has it in it, and it didn't get a fair shake last time. I don't know if we should have these trees poking into the ride itself, but that's what we're going to do. And maybe we'll make, like, a little custom statue at the top. Because we can make our own statues via the plinth here. 30% Q rating. That's actually, like, still pretty bad. But my other thinking is, you know, it wouldn't be a Northernlion episode if I didn't fuck it up by making, like, a fountain really, really badly. So let's make a square. We're going to do square columns here. Let's make sure we got this set up properly. It's like a new Grecian tower. We do need a basin. That's messed up. I should have had the base. Otherwise, we're just, you know, watering the soil. What do dang plants know about needing water? Am I right? I think we should have it be slightly higher as well. This is like a Dark Souls setup right here. I like this. And then what do you put on top of this? Well, it's a ride where we have dragons. So, obviously, search like dragon here. We made 1,200 bucks this month. That is not bad, man. Well, you know what? I got a great idea. What if we put this dragon like... Yeah, I was thinking like that would be ideal. No, put this dragon like this. So it's kind of spitting on the people in the ride. Like, it's really snorting on him. He's like right in there. We're already at 67%. Was this ride $6? Sure, we'll charge 6 for now, but we'll probably change that. And then we want to find like a knight here. Yeah, and this knight is like looking to stab this dude. Now that's dope. I don't care who you are. That is a dope bit of scenery setup right there. How would I change it? Probably like delete one of these fountains. And then lower this guy down a little bit. See, this is an attention to detail that is very foreign for me. It's not poking out? It's poking out a little bit, but... You know, I think that's okay. That looks pretty cool. And then, of course, it's still just, you know, going straight into the water here. So if we could click on that, maybe bulldoze it, and then put a fountain underneath it. That would be good. And I gotta say, Rob's roller coaster is getting it done here. Just like we knew it could. No, don't worry about this. We can do this. We can still do this. Get on top of it. Oh, Jesus, what have I done? That's okay. Minor problems. Very minor problems in the whole scheme of things. Get out of here, Whirly Rig song. And it's not quite right. Like, it is a levitating fountain, which is cool enough in its own right. But we need to double down on this. And go fountain. And then take the base of it. Which base were we using before? This one right here? It sort of works. We still made 700 bucks this month, in spite of all the theming costs. Sure, you know what? That looks like a functional fountain. As obscured by the poplar trees, that looks like a functional fountain to me. Maybe a little structurally unsound, but otherwise pretty dope. How's the queue for Rob's Redemption? It's looking pretty good. I mean, the ride, it's not going to make us a ton of money because it's not very efficient. You know, it only has like 8 people per run. But people like it. They're just not going to queue that long to go on it. Which I think is probably going to become maybe the most heated concern of this park from the guests to begin with. Apart from that, I'm also going to do one last thing before we finish this like 45-minute long episode here. And I'm going to throw down some more village heart benches at the exit of the ride here. And we should probably start researching things like first aid, you know, getting ATMs up as well, you know, and then putting down a real roller coaster that actually brings in more than a just family audience would be good. But for now, thanks for watching. This is episode 1 of us trying to be a little bit better at Planet Coaster. If you enjoyed the episode, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.